You open your eyes in 9th century Norway. Congrats, you've just been born. And your mum almost died in the process. The midwife, she ditched the second you started bawling because your cries weren't normal baby cries. Nope, you were already throwing fists like you were auditioning for Baby Gladiator. Even your mum doesn't cuddle you. She flinches because deep down, she knows this kid isn't wired like the others. Your dad? Yeah, he's nowhere around. He's busy doing peak Viking stuff, raiding Francia, because in this century, skipping a raid is basically social suicide. Fast forward, you're 5. Other kids play games. You're splitting logs for fun, headbutting trees, and occasionally biting goats. By 8, you start wondering where dad is. Then you remember that one time mum cried for weeks. Took you a while to connect the dots, but yeah, he's dead. You're sad, but you don't cry. Because crying, that's for weaklings, not little Vikings. By now, something's becoming obvious. Your anger, it's not normal anger. It's lethal. You've ripped chickens apart with your teeth. You buried a hatchet in your neighbour's leg just because he looked at your wooden sword funny. He lived. Barely. Honestly, that guy got lucky compared to some others. Your mum's full-time job now, stopping you from turning the whole village into a one-kid massacre. You want to change. You do. But something in your blood loves the chaos, loves hurting, loves destroying. Your days are filled with chores, hauling water, chopping wood, pretending you're not one tantrum away from total carnage. Nights? They're worse. Nightmares, shadowy visions. The best sleep you've ever had? 1 hour. A miracle, really. Mum drags you to the village shaman. He stares into your soul, mutters something cryptic, and sends you away. Super helpful, thanks, old man. But then one morning, something different happens. You wake up, rested. No nightmares, and for the first time ever, you remember what you dreamed. You sprint back to the shaman like it's Christmas morning. He listens, nods slowly, then drops the bomb. That was Odin. Yep, the All-Father himself is sliding into your dreams. And he doesn't want chit-chat. He wants to recruit you, to turn you into a berserker, a god-blessed rage monster who lives to kill. Sounds cool, right? Until you realize it's also a curse. Everyone will fear you. You'll never live a normal life. Forget goat petting. You can't even hug your mum without worrying you'll snap her spine in half. Your soul? It belongs to Odin now. And let's just say the health plan sucks. By 12, you're taller and stronger than most grown men. Also scarier. The village finally has enough and ships you off to live with the warriors. Translation: please take this feral child before he eats another goat. The Berserkers take you in. These guys are terrifying. Giant, scarred men who don't smile, don't laugh, and hit like avalanches. They hand you an axe and say swing. Easy enough. Until sparring starts. You block. Your arms shake. You hit. They shrug it off. Sometimes they even toss you into fights unarmed. You versus a guy with an axe and 0 sense of mercy. Months pass. You're covered in bruises, cuts, scars in places you didn't know existed. But now, you can fight. You can endure. You can bleed and keep swinging. One night by the fire, an older berserker limps over. You like war, kid? You nod. Of course. He grins. Then you'll love War Thunder. Wait, what? He describes it like some insane battle realm. Tanks, planes, ships, all smashing into each other. Explosions so real you feel them in your bones. Playable on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, even mobile. And it's free. You just laugh nervously. Thanks for the cursed sales pitch, Grandpa. By 16, you're a unit. But physical training isn't enough. Berserkers also learn to trigger the Berserker Gang, a terrifying rage state where pain disappears, fear doesn't exist, and you fight like an actual demon. How do you unlock it? Mushrooms. Not the fun kind. The terrifying hallucinogenic kind. Every trip, a nightmare. Odin shows up in your brain babbling cryptic stuff. You black out. Last time you woke up clutching a human arm that wasn't yours. So yeah, spiritual training. Going great. Finally, it's time. You're drafted into the king's personal guard. Huge honor. Short-lived, though. Because before the year's out, he's launching a raid on England. Your first international blood vacation. The boat ride is miserable. You spend most of it puking your guts out. Other Vikings stare at you. Young ones admire you, older ones avoid you. They have seen berserkers in action. They know to keep their distance. The first few raids, easy. Tiny villages, barely any resistance. Swing, smash, loot goats. But then, the King of York rallies his forces. Suddenly, you're facing a real army. Your orders? Charge the front lines with the other berserkers. Translation: go die gloriously. But you're not scared. You're excited. Before the battle, you and your squad do the ritual. Chanting, self-cuts, mushroom snacks. Your brain goes white hot, and the Berserker Gang hits. You explode forward, tearing through shields like paper. Chaos screams, then blackout. When you wake, the battlefield is silent. Bodies everywhere. Most of them, kids, barely older than you were when you started. Something cracks in your chest. Doubt. Guilt. Is this really what Odin wanted? Because it doesn't feel like glory. It feels like slaughter. Back in Norway, you resume your job guarding the king. Vikings whisper about you. To some, you're a hero. To others, a nightmare in fur. By 30, you've somehow survived. Ancient by berserker standards. Most of your kind die young, not from losing fights, but because they're too unstable to live around normal humans. But you're still here, scarred, limping, half broken, but alive. You lead the berserkers now, the king's favorite weapon. Raids across the sea, more blood, more rage, more nights haunted by shadows. Then it shifts. You lose control. The Berserker Gang doesn't wait for battle anymore. Sometimes it hits at meals, sometimes mid-conversation. Even other berserkers avoid you. The childhood visions, they're back. Worse than ever. You turn to mushrooms for answers. Bad idea. It only fries your brain more. The king dismisses you. Not because you're weak, But because you're too dangerous. Desperate, you beg the shamans for help. Nothing works, so you exile yourself. Better to suffer in the wilderness than kill someone innocent. But the dreams don't stop. Every night, faceless bodies, screams, blood. You pray to Odin to end it. He stays silent. Years pass. One day, thou return to the village. Thou challenge everyone. Kill me. No one moves. Not because they pity thee, but because they still fear thee. Even old, limping, grey, thou art still the monster from York. And now, alone, staring at a rope, you wonder, if Odin won't take your soul, maybe it's time you deliver it to him yourself.